Strike really fast-tracked everything because whatever your political opinion was during the strike, you met people from all sorts of different political backgrounds and experiences who were very willing to share their experiences with you. And I think that opened lots of possibilities. So suddenly, where your world was centred around your home in your village in the Upper Swansea Valley, suddenly you were being exposed to bigger ideas, different experiences, different campaigns and different struggles. And I think that fast-tracked us in a way. You learned that you could express an opinion. So it was a very liberating experience. So once the strike ended and I realised that I had this opportunity to go forward and that I could use the Welsh language to do that, I grasped that with both hands. I feel passionately that the people who are being stigmatised now are immigrants, asylum seekers and benefit claimants because they're easy targets, they're sitting targets. The language of Westminster changed when the Conservative government, when the coalition government came in. Suddenly we weren't talking about opportunities or training, we're talking about austerity, we're talking about cutbacks, we're talking about people being greedy, we're talking about people expecting to be looked after, when those are the things, as a socialist, I consider to be really important. Having a community where we look after the less well off, having a safety net that's wide enough to catch everybody is what it's all about for me. So I found that very, very difficult. And then when you talk to the sorts of communities that I was representing, where jobs were concerned, they were often in 0-hour contracts, low pay, working in the retail sector, which is not hugely well paid anyway. Many of the young mothers that I deal with, or dealt with, were working 16 hours a week, really strange hours, so their family lifestyles are affected. So then, in a sense, they're victims of this new change in working practices, attitudes. So we hear a great deal about how business must thrive, but I don't hear a great deal about business being fair and equitable and caring. Because I think, and I'm testament to that, and our support group proves this, and what you see in the film proves this. You give people the tools, and they can represent themselves. You give them the opportunities and they will grasp them with both hands. I remember Dennis Skinner speaking during the miners' strike at a big fundraiser. And Dennis Skinner, beast of Bolsover, world famous MP, personal friend of mine, known him from the strike. And Dennis Skinner said, poor people don't have any problem with dealing with money. The problem is getting it in the first place. And that's really our challenge, is how do we get sorts of people that I represented or wanted my representation, give them the tools to help themselves. And I think that comes through a combination of proper funding, training, and really, stopping the demonisation of them. We've got to stop thinking about society as different tiers and different stratas. We're all in this together. Austerity should be affecting us all. Even if you're a multi-millionaire with an offshore account, he should be doing his bit. And I've got no problem with that. And I think redistribution of wealth is just a basic, decent human thing to do. I'm really excited about standing down. I see opportunity. I'm 5 weeks into it because we all cease to be MPs on March the 30th. So it's the 5th week, and so far there's nothing wrong with it. I'm getting really stuck in with my work, with my alternatives to women's imprisonment in Wales. I'm getting really stuck into lots of the other things that I'm interested in, public transport, etc. And I think that there are going to be opportunities for advocates. I want to work with communities. Our miners' support group, we've refounded it. And I see it as a role for us that if something is happening in our community that people need to get off their bottoms about, well, hey, we're there. We've got 2 ex-MPs. We're willing to share our time and expertise. And I think that once you give people that confidence, they know what to do.